Hi all! So a while ago on YouTube, I stumbled down a wormhole of small kitchen appliance reviews. As I was looking to buy an air fryer and perhaps maybe a pressure cooker, that's when I stumbled across one of the worst YouTube chefs of all time. His name is Jack Scalfani, as I like to call him, Jack Salmonella Scalfani. I watch video after video of him butcher, sometimes quite literally, recipes. Imagine driving slowly past a multi-car pileup on the interstate. That's my face as I watched him teach the internet how to make partially cooked meals of varying types and taking awful and unneeded shortcuts to recipes that are already quick to prepare. The absolute horror of Jack's lazy man chefing, air quote, techniques to my boyfriend Tom. And now, since we can't unsee it, we are opening your eyes to it as well. I'm Michelle, and I welcome you to join us for this horrific journey, better known as Pink Chicken and the Lazy Man. Welcome back to Pink Chicken and the Lazy Man.
That's right, folks. Another quick episode coming at you from Pink Chicken and the Lazy Man. Tonight we're going to be going through 2 episodes. It's probably be short because, of course, he's making short videos again.
We're going to start out of order here because I feel like we need to start with the most egregious one first, which is creamy Cajun chicken, which he labels as a home run recipe, which is some new thing he's doing where he's labeling recipes that he thinks he did really, really well to give himself a pat on the back. He labels them home run recipe, and in each episode where he finds that it's a home run recipe, he goes, it drops down a little baseball wearing a hat, and it goes doing or something like that. Like, it's really stupid, but
yeah, some of the episodes he's been making the baseball make the doing noise. Some of them haven't been making the doing noise.
Doing noise, I like that. But yeah, so this one is
it's the same doing noise he uses in his bloopers. It's the blooper doing.
It's the blooper doing.
It's the blooper doing.
Yeah.
So this video was released 2 days ago. It is April 16th, so this video is released April 14th, following his usual Tuesday pattern. Incidentally, he got outsmarted. He released this video at his normal scheduled time, where he schedules his videos on Tuesday to come out at the exact minute that Babish releases his videos. But apparently somebody has told Babish about that, because Babish released his video an hour and 15 minutes later. So
Ooh.
Jack wouldn't get automatically picked up by the picker in the recommendations.
Scandalous.
So I think it's another reason why we are only at 4,400 views for this video.
Oh yeah, it could be higher, yeah.
He's missed a couple hundred views for his videos at this point.
And also, he's cheated the system again, which we'll get into later with his title card at the end, as we all know he loves to do. We won't get into that yet. We will just get into the video here, which is awful.
Oh yeah, this is as bad. The results are as bad as the crack chicken video. We all remember the crack chicken video.
Or the creamy chicken thighs. Pretty close to the creamy chicken thighs. It's almost exactly the same result.
But with a Cajun flair. Not that Jack knows what that is.
Yeah, exactly.
Which we have to get into that as well. So let's start the video. Folks, synchronize your clocks. We are hitting play on creamy Cajun chicken home run recipe now. So Jack begins his video by talking about his travel plans. Which, of course, obviously you're going to do because, it's not like the whole nation is locked down because of a nationwide plague or anything. Oh, wait, it is. So he's quickly talking about how him and Tammy are giving up their Disney plans this year. God knows if he ever does a Jack on the Go about Disney World restaurants, they'll kick him out. And Disney will burn him to the ground on YouTube. He'll be deplatformed. But he's talking about, oh, well, we're not gonna do that. We're going to go to New Orleans.
Not much better there, Jack. Not
much
better. Which is
kind of like the epicenter of the COVID-19 virus in the South. They were talking 2 weeks ago about how bad the New Orleans hospitals are. So God forbid he and his wife Tammy, both of high BMI index and chronic diseases, end up in the South. It's not going to be a good time for him.
I totally get that, but we're now into the
ingredient rundown.
Yep, it's what you would expect it to be: bone broth, cheeses.
We've got sun-dried tomatoes, Cajun seasoning, his Slap You Mama. Apparently he dug out that can of Slap Ya Mama Cajun spice from the back of his Lazy Susan or something a couple weeks ago, and he's been on a tear with it.
And some skinless, boneless chicken breasts. He doesn't call them boneless, skinless. He calls them skinless, boneless. So I don't know what difference that makes, but...
Now, he doesn't show you on camera because sometimes he hides some of his quote-unquote techniques. But you'll see as he gets his flour mixture here together, which he's basically going to dredge the chicken. But of course, he's not going to dredge the chicken like everybody else does. There's no egg, there's no milk.
No, it's
there's
a
no
dry
nothing.
dredge.
Yeah, it's weird. Which means the flour's not going to stick that well to it, because normally you do something with the chicken. You need a little bit of moisture or binding agent to hold the flour to
That's true.
But I guess being like a Cajun, all Cajun food is basically French cooking. And this is exactly what you would expect from a French recipe. Like a Julia Child's kind of joy of cooking recipe, where you brown the chicken with a little bit of flour on it, then you deglaze the pan, then you make a roux, and you add cream, and you...
He's not using the, we talked about this last time, he's using the shaker side of the ingredients, spices and whatnot here. But in the first, like the salt, the pepper seems normal. The garlic powder, I think, is the third one. That seems normal too. But when he gets to the slap you mama,
he said it's gotta be Cajun.
While he doesn't use the pour out side, he uses the shaker side. He puts in so much. It's just a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, you could recite the Pledge of Allegiance from the time he starts dumping in the Cajun spice till the time he stops. It's a massive amount.
So the next horrifying crime here is he talks about the way that he's cut his chicken, which are skinless, boneless. Skinless, boneless chicken breasts.
Well, so what he decides to do is, so he has split breasts.
Yes.
And they're rather big. So he probably bought the family pack at Walmart or something. So the breasts are rather large. They're a big, thick cut of chicken.
Well, thank you. No, just kidding.
Oh, wow. That just happened. So chefs will do one of two things with this. They will either wrap the chicken in plastic wrap and pound it down with a meat mallet.
Yes.
They'll either thin it out that way, or they'll fillet them. They'll take the breast, they'll do a longitudinal cross section and make thinner fillets. That's how you do it. Nowhere ever have I ever seen this done. Or if you're going to do this, you're going to cut the chicken into chunks. 1 or 2 inch chunks. You do it like you would for a stir fry.
Yeah.
Jack has decided that he has figured out a better way to cut the chicken. Straight down the middle and in half.
Well, they almost appear to be chicken tenders. Chicken tenders are a lot thinner and a lot less meat on them. These are really, really thick.
These are just split. He just literally cut a chicken breast in half.
Right.
Transverse. Straight down the middle.
Straight down the middle.
Vertical cut. Right down the middle.
If you were like blind or maybe looking at a cross-eyed, you could almost say that they were chicken tenders or chicken tenderloins, but...
This is original. I wonder why no other chef has thought about it.
Because...
it causes uneven cooking.
Yes.
Because again, the whole reason you want to thin it out is so that you don't have the outside getting cooked and the inside staying pink.
Back to pink chicken.
Exactly.
Oh, high fives.
I was hoping you were going
high
that way.
Z.
High fives.
So anyway, we stopped the video here at 2:41. If you're keeping score,
we just had to go into those again.
We had to. It was just too bad. We had to talk about it.
We've watched the video several times, and every time we watch it, we get to this point, we just stop and gaze in horror as what he's doing, because he's obviously not thinking about what he's doing, or if he is thinking about what he's doing, he's thinking about it in the wrong way. He's not thinking like a chef. He's just thinking, oh, what's the lazy man way of doing this? Oh, I'll just cut the chicken breast in half. Probably what happened was, and you can imagine, because you can imagine the domestic relations at this point between him and Tammy. You can imagine she said, well, Jack, you can't cook those chicken breasts. They're too thick. You better cut them in half. And he was probably trying to do it, and he couldn't manage it with his one good arm. And she's like, you have to cut them in half. He's like, I can't cut them in half. Oh, you want me to cut them like this? I'll cut them like this. I'll cut them in half for you. So it looks like the chicken breasts were cut in the most spiteful way. So probably he was just going to do them as they were. Tammy said cut them in half, and this is Jack's half-ass spiteful way. Because anybody who knows anything about cooking for even as long as Jack's been a quote-unquote cook, you don't cut chicken this way. It's going to cook unevenly.
I almost wish he cut them not this way and cut them in the whatever the other way would be, or not cut them at all, so they would turn out absolutely pink.
Yeah.
That would make me so much more happy, but I get it. It's fine.
Well, Jack's trying. He's trying as best he can.
Yeah.
So we're picking back up the video. Again, we're at 241.
Yeah.
Now, so he's dredging his... I said they look like tiny humpback whales. He's dredging his chicken whales.
I say they look like fail whales.
They are fail whales.
Individual fails of whale, or whales
of fail. You see the flour's not sticking that well to them. Right now, up on our next food crime he's doing here.
Don't even get me started.
He gets his granite rock pan screaming hot, dumps in a bunch of olive oil, doesn't swirl the olive oil to evenly coat the pan.
Oh yeah.
That to me, that
this
is his
really
most egregious.
This really upsets the lazy man here. Yeah, he really gets upset about this.
Now, probably the recipe said add the oil, then you add the chicken, and you throw in a big stick of butter, the way Gordon Ramsay always does it. He starts browning in the oil. He puts the oil down so the chicken doesn't stick to the pan, and then he'll throw a pat of butter in there and spoon the butter over the meat to coat it and baste it and make it more brown.
Yep, yeah.
Not our Jack. Nope. Screw it. We're gonna make an oil slick by throwing the butter right in the hot oil, which, as you can see, the butter immediately separates, which is Alton Brown, Sam the cooking guy, they all tell you if your butter is separating, your butter's too hot.
So we get to he's making a double batch of this.
If you see the first fail whale chicken he puts in there, you see the chicken is browned, almost burnt on the top, browned, almost burnt on the bottom, and in the center of it is
pink chicken
and a lazy man.
So anyway, we get to the end here. He
dumps in it, so he gets the burnt chicken out of the pan.
Yeah.
And now he has to deglaze the pan, so he dumps in his chicken broth, but the pan is so screaming hot. As soon as he adds that chicken broth, it almost evaporates off completely.
Yeah, no, and you can see before he even does that, the oil that he was cooking in is brown, and it's olive oil that he's using, so it's burnt olive oil.
Yeah,
and then he dumps the rest of the ingredients, and it almost immediately evaporates off because it's so hot.
Yeah, so all the water in the chicken broth is gone, or bone broth. He's got it almost looks like corn. It's the wrong color. But those are his garlic pieces. So he minced the garlic lazily in big chunks, didn't bother to mince it.
Or like put it through a garlic press.
Right.
Or even use the jarred garlic would have been better.
Now he takes a saucer. He dumped it in like a kitty. He dumps a saucer of heavy whipping cream into this oil slick, sun-dried monstrosity.
There's nothing to bind it to. It's just...
Well, he doesn't incorporate anything. You can see that the cream is laying there, and there are puddles.
No flour, nothing. Nothing,
there's just puddles of oil. There's puddles of his burnt olive oil just laying on top of the cream.
Yeah, it's nasty. And the
then chicken... he throws the chicken. Note the chicken was not sitting on any kind of towel or paper toweling.
And it's not covered all the way either. So like the chicken that was not cooked all the way through before is probably still not cooked all the way through now.
Right.
That's cross-contamination.
He is paying attention to his haters, though, because he does... Well, if you notice, he takes pains to mention in this video. He doesn't show you doing it. He's like, we took a thermometer and we registered 165 degrees in each one of the chicken breasts.
And then the most egregious... Well, yeah, he says that, but who knows if he actually does that, because I don't see any stick marks in these chickens. But he dumps like at least 2 cups, I want to say, of shredded Parmesan cheese over the top of this.
Oh, yeah.
And then pops the lid over the top.
Which, again, if you're doing Cajun is essentially French cooking with a different spice vocabulary. Where's the Parmesan cheese? Parmesan cheese is Italian. Where's the Gruyere? Where's the Swiss? Like if you're doing French, where's the...
Oh, and here's the end result. The end result looks exactly like the cracked chicken, minus the piece of cheese dripped over the top of it.
Well,
it looks
again,
exactly like the cracked chicken.
He doesn't know how to make a true cream sauce. He doesn't make a bechamel. He doesn't know how to make even just a regular cream sauce.
No.
This is what he gets. He gets this slop. He gets burnt oil and little flakes of cheese in there, because a lot of that shredded cheese that he gets out of the bag, so that means it's not going to melt. Plus, why are you using Parmesan cheese in this? That's a hard cheese.
So let's talk about this for a second while he's eating this. It looks like Tammy cut up his chicken for him so he could take a bite, because I don't think he could cut into his own chicken for himself.
Yeah, there were a couple pre-cut pieces laying there for him.
Yes, he did not cut into that. And okay, so now we're back to the Convoy of Hope situation, and the home run recipe comes in over the top of that. So you don't get to see the end result really.
Note the hard anti-aliasing on both the home run recipe graphic as well as the Convoy of Hope graphic. Jack knows how to use a soft eraser brush in his Affinity Photoshop clone to take those things out. He's just using whatever they have as a magic wand tool and popping it. He doesn't know to remove those pixels, so all of his graphics suck.
And we get back to the 3 things you can do now, taking up 2 minutes of time on this video. So that means
running time of the video is 10 minutes and 6 seconds, 8 minutes and 3 seconds. We cut into the 3-section outro card.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, somebody should be reporting this. This is a crime. Along with the food crimes, we also have some YouTube crimes going on here as well.
Yeah, and this one we noticed he's back to the mid-roll ads instead of the pre-roll ads. Again, not sure if that's something the YouTube picker is doing to him or if he's choosing to do this. But yeah, all right, let's do our rundown of food crimes. for Jack Scalfani for creamy Cajun chicken.
Jeez, let me go back and think. All right, so
fail whale cut of the chicken.
Yeah, the fail whale cut of the chicken for sure.
Overspicing. That's always one of his.
Overspicing.
He's a repeat offender for that one.
Yep.
Screaming hot pan.
Screaming hot pan.
That's number 3. That's just the first 3 we've come up with. Number 4, adding the butter to the oil rather than adding the chicken to the oil, then adding the butter to brown the outside of the chicken.
Right. Okay.
Pan so screamingly hot, he boils off the chicken broth.
Well, that kind of goes along with you said screaming hot pan before.
Yeah, no, but I want to get to the chicken broth part of it.
Okay.
Not using any kind of binding agent to incorporate the cream into the quote-unquote sauce.
Yep. The cheese just kills it for me.
Oh yeah, wrong choice of cheese, and he's using cheap store-bought cheese.
Yeah, or cheese at all. Like, just leave it the way that it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs cheese.
Well, if we're going to do the taco spaghetti or taco zoodles, if we're going to review that one tonight, you'll see.
We are.
We're
getting there.
Yeah, there's an uproarious amount of cheese used here. There's an egregious amount of cheese in that one. It's another one of those famous Jack cheese oil slicks of just, a 2-inch layer of shredded bagged cheddar.
Yeah. No, we're not at that point. I don't know that it needed that much Parmesan or Parmesan at all. Like, I think it would have been okay by itself.
You might have done well with some type of cheese element to it, although I can't imagine, because Cajun, you don't really think of...
Maybe like
Cajun,
sour
Cajun
cream
food is roasting, Cajun food is like
cheese?
roasted or just pan-fried a little bit. There's not... Nobody goes for Cajun food dunked in cheese.
Yeah, like something to cream it up, like something to thicken it.
Yeah.
Like cream cheese or...
It's just not there. I don't know where the hell he got the recipe from.
I don't know either.
Hell, probably. I feel like there's a demon who just... that's his job, is to send Jack recipes via email. Oh, my friend, Beelzebub at hotmail.com.
Jack, we have a recipe for you. But anyway.
Hello, Jack. This is Satan. I want you to make a Cajun chicken recipe, Jack, and I want you to use Parmesan cheese.
Make sure you get it out to all the minions.
Tell them it's a home run, Jack. Tell them it's a home run.
Oh, dear God. Okay, so I think we're at the end of this recipe.
Yeah, we've discussed it ourselves enough.
And
again, it's a svelte video, unlike Jack. This is a very thin video, only 8 minutes. Cut out a lot of stuff he could have shown, and we've run down the food crime. So we're going to take our leave of you now. We're going to jump right into the next video. So
we're doing this out of order, but this one we thought was more of a food crime video than the one before that, which was the taco zoodle bake. And the taco zoodle bake was actually a shorter video as well. So
all right, folks, thanks for joining us in this episode of Pink Chicken and the Lazy Man podcast.
Thank you for joining Pink Chicken and the Ladies Man. See, I brought it back.
Nice. Now you have to bring back your ASMR stuff.